Hi guys, it's Sherry. Today I'm going to show you how to cover some wood blanks with some material. But the very first thing that you're going to do is, with this particular project, we are going to paint the one side. And I chose a very pretty blue. So I just want to make sure that I'm getting my wood covered nicely on the sides as well. I like to get my brush a little wet to really just spread that paint, because it does not need to be very dark. I like the wash look. You see how it's on this side? I love that. So that's what I want. So I'll just let that, this is already basically dry on that side. So I'll let that completely dry. So I've been really playing around with these wood earrings for a while and practicing different methods and stuff like that and seeing what I like and what I don't like. And I just really thought these were so cute. And I really loved the material that I got. And I thought it would be so fun to show you guys a new little idea. And you don't have to paint both sides. I'm painting both sides because it is white paper, or it is white material that I'm using. So that white material will be like a see-through. So you'll see a little bit of that blue right through it. Okay, so my next step is I have a silkscreen here, and I love this because it looks like waves. So I want to use this silkscreen, and that's good. Decide what side you want to paint. Get your white acrylic paint. And you don't need a lot. And because this is not going to stick onto your wood like it would clay, we are going to have to hold this into place. So don't let it kind of flop all over. So you're going to want to kind of just work in sections. And just take your time with this so it doesn't move around on you. And I just want to get a nice coat on here so we can see this right onto our wood. So I'm just feeling around to make sure I got all of it. Okay. And then I will carefully lift it, and look how cool that looks. So super neat. So we'll do the next side. Okay, so now I know I got my whole piece. Lift it. And now I'm going to go rinse out my silk screen right away so it doesn't get ruined. I'm just going to take my finger, make sure nothing is bubbled up on the inside. Clean up my area here quick. Okay, so while that dries, we are going to cut our piece of material out. And as you can see right here, I have starfish. And this one I did not paint. I just wanted to show you the next step so we don't have to wait so long. So I'm just going to cut out my pieces. I know that's about the length that I need, and I could use one whole section here. And this is just from the dollar store. I'm going to cut that right in half. And I'm actually going to just kind of see which side or how much I'm going to be able to get of these stars. And I should get a nice amount there and on that one, because I really would like to get as many starfish as I can onto this piece. So kind of like I did with this one. This is drying. Let me see. Still a little wet. So I'm going to let these completely dry, and then we'll come back and do the next step. Okay, so my pieces are dried, and my next step is going to decide. Now I want something that's going to hang in the middle, so I can either use some starfish like the material that we are going to use, or I could do stingray, a dolphin, seahorses. So I got to make a decision on what exactly I want to use. I do have little fish. So I have a number of different things. I almost want to just go with the starfish since it's all about starfishes, but I haven't made that decision yet. But I am going to be laying something down in the middle, so I need a extra hole. So I have my drill bit, and I'm just going to go right under, and I am going to drill another hole. So I'm just going to go on both sides to make sure that it's completely clear. So I'm going to put my Mod Podge on. So you don't need too much for this coat. We're just going to go over it lightly. And then I am going to lay my piece down, but I want to try to get as much of my starfish on this piece. So and you can see I'm pressing this on, and I'm pushing pretty good because I want to make sure this is on real well. There is no wrinkles on here. And then I'm going to go over it. And I'm going to make sure that I get right to the very edge. I want to make sure that my edge is down real well. Okay, put that off to the side. Do the same thing. And when you're done with this part, you're going to let it dry completely and it usually takes about 10 to 15 minutes for it to completely dry. Okay, so while that dries, I'm going to show you what you're going to do after it is dry. You're going to get a pair of sharp scissors, and you are going to cut right along your edge. So just go around the whole thing and get as close to the edge as you can. So you're going to want a nice pair of sharp scissors. For the middle, you're going to get your X-Acto knife, and I put a new blade in mine because I want to make sure that I get one cut and it does it well. So I'm just going to follow it. And be careful with this, do it slowly. And when you have a real nice sharp blade, it cuts beautifully. So you're going to do that. That's why I didn't want you guys to have to wait for that entire thing to dry. But you're going to have to anyway because I didn't do anything else with that. So that was not well thought out. But anyway, we're going to let this dry. And when it is dried, do this, and then we'll go to the next step. So once your pieces are trimmed up, we are going to put Mod Podge on again. And yes, I know it seems like a lot, but we want to make sure our edges are completely sealed down now that we cut them. So this time, I'm just going to go over and I want to make sure that I'm getting my edges real nice, because I want to make sure that I can, if there's any fraying, that it's all kind of pushed down and nothing is going to stick out. So I just want to make sure that my edges are nice and smooth. We don't have to put this on overly thick. So I'm just going to kind of push down, make sure I have no frays, make sure my edges are nice and smooth. And now once again, let this completely dry. And I'm actually going to run a blow dryer over this to have it dry quicker. This way I don't have to wait the 15-20 minutes or the 10 or 15 minutes. Okay, so now my pieces are completely dried, much faster using the blow dryer. And the next step is to open up your holes. So just kind of see, this one you can actually see through, which I like. So I'm just going to kind of poke them through a bit. And I'm going to take my drill and once again just drill right through that hole that I have there. All right, so once your holes are open, we are going to decide which we are going to put on here. And I decided, since this is kind of like a double-sided one, I want to use my seahorse, only because you can see the seahorse on both sides. So that's why I chose the seahorse. I'm going to get a couple different size jump rings here. Get my pliers, and I want to get a tiny jump ring, and I'm going to put those on my seahorses, so this way they will lay the right way on my earring. There we go. I'm going to take my bigger jump rings, I'm going to put them on the bottom of my earring. This way my seahorse will lay further down. There we go. So go through the material way. I'm going to put my seahorse on. Come on. And then close that all the way. Open it up, put it through the material way. And that looks fantastic so far. All right, so now I am going to put these jump rings on with my fish hook, but we are going to resin these pieces, and I'm putting these on now because I do not want to have to drill through this once I put my resin on. So I'm going to show you how to make sure that it lays straight. So put that on. I'm going to turn my fish hooks And the reason I'm turning my fish hook is so I don't have to add an extra jump ring, otherwise they won't lay right on your ear. Okay. So now we see how that is kind of lifted up a bit. So we want to make sure that is level. So I'm going to get something else that is about that thickness and make sure that it lays level. And that's going to be too high. I think that, yeah, so one of these, each one of these will work. So I actually have two that I'm going to use that are trash. And I thought I had another trash one here. Oh, here it is. Here's my other trash one. So that way I'll lay that underneath and then that will lay level for me. Okay, so first I'm going to lay this one down. I'm going to get my resin. And then I will put it all over my earring. And then carefully, I will start pulling my resin to where I want it. And I'm getting all the way to the edge. This way, all my material will be completely sealed. And when I get to my holes, I'm not going to put a ton of it there, but I will put it right around there. I'm going to try to make sure this stays level. There we go. It's trying to move on me. So I just want to put a tiny bit more right there. Get my lighter and get all those bubbles out. So just go over your piece, pop all the bubbles. And I'm going to let this sit for a few minutes because I want to make sure that this is not going to pull away from the areas that I want it on. And sometimes you'll have little hidden bubbles that you're not going to see until it cures. And if you let your resin set for a little bit, it kind of helps get the bubbles out on its own. So I'm just pulling to the edge. And I want to just make sure this is level. You can see how I made sure that this jump ring is straight. I want to make sure that when I cure this, this piece is straight. So you're going to just maneuver it. And if you want to do this, if you want to put the resin on before the jump rings, go right ahead. I just didn't want to drill through the resin. Okay, so I'm going to let this sit as well for a few minutes. I'm going to put these under my UV light, and then I'm going to do the other side. And then when they are done, we'll come back and see the results. All right, guys, and here it is. Look how beautiful these earrings came out. The resin really brought these out. I love them. I think they are fantastic. But the last thing I want to do is, I thought the blue would show up a little bit better, but it didn't. So I'm going to take my silver marker and I am going to edge these off. It's going to really bring this piece together and make it look complete. So this is just my silver chrome marker, and very, very simple to use. And it wipes right off the resin. So if you get any on your resin, it wipes right off. Let's move your little piece out of the way. And there it is. Look how beautiful that looks. And it will stay that shiny. I mean, absolutely gorgeous. I love this marker, and I love the way these earrings came out. If you guys enjoy seeing the wood earrings, let me know, because I would like to take my Sundays and really try to create other things than just clay. And just go all the way around. And that's all to it. And you have a beautiful set of earrings here. Try to pick that up without getting that. There we go. So there's our earrings. So both sides look beautiful. If you want, you could use this one side or that side. And that's what I love about having two different sides. You could really just flip the fish hook and wear it both ways. So I really hope you guys enjoy creating these with me. If you did, please give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.